Picture this. You make a simple, everyday business mistake, and suddenly you're losing your personal savings, your car, maybe even your house. It sounds like a total nightmare, right? Well, for sole proprietors who don't legally separate their business from their personal lives, that nightmare is a very real possibility if a lawsuit or unexpected debt comes knocking. And honestly, that is exactly why choosing the right business structure is literally the most critical first step you'll take as an entrepreneur.
Hello, and welcome to This Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here with us. Today, we're zeroing in on exactly how to securely establish your business by forming a limited liability company, or LLC, in the great state of North Dakota. Whether you're a complete beginner or you're just looking for a clear step-by-step roadmap, This Explainer is designed to give you exactly what you need to know without any of the fluff. Okay, let's dive right in.
To keep us on track, here's our roadmap for today. 1. The basics. 2. The legal foundation. 3. Internal rules and EIN. 4. Ongoing maintenance. And finally, 5. Resources and wrap-up. All right, Section 1, the basics, protection and naming. So what does this all mean in practice? Basically, an LLC is a business structure that creates a legal wall between you and your company. This means that, generally speaking, your personal assets, your home, your savings account, are protected from the company's liabilities. It's kind of like a safety net. It gives you the heavy-duty liability protection of a corporation, but with the much simpler pass-through taxation of a partnership. It really is the ultimate setup for your peace of mind. Now, when it comes to naming your new business, North Dakota's rules are incredibly specific. You can't just pull any name out of a hat. First off, your name has to end with an LLC designator, like LLC. Second, and this is a big one, it must be completely distinguishable from any other business already on the North Dakota Secretary of State's records. You're going to want to use the state's business entities search tool to verify that first. And finally, steer clear of restricted words like bank or trust, unless you actually have special state approval for them. Oh, and no way can you use words that imply you're connected to a government agency. Moving right along to Section 2, the legal foundation, agents and official filing. Before you can even think about filing anything, North Dakota law says you absolutely must appoint a registered agent. This is simply a person, or a company, responsible for receiving official legal documents, like a lawsuit summons, on behalf of your business. You've got a couple of options here. You can actually be your own agent for free, but you must have a physical North Dakota street address. No P.O. boxes allowed. Plus, you have to physically be there every single business day during normal hours. Because just one missed notice can result in a default judgment against your company, a lot of entrepreneurs just opt for the peace of mind of hiring a professional service. It usually runs about $99 to $129 a year. Now, let's talk money. The primary financial hurdle to getting started in North Dakota is exactly $135. That's the state fee required to file your formation documents. So where does that $135 actually go? You'll be filing a document called the Articles of Organization. In North Dakota, this is known as Form SFN 58701, and you file it exclusively online through the Secretary of State's First Stop portal. As long as you're 18 or older, you can act as the organizer to file this. Once you pay the fee, the state usually processes it in about 5 to 7 days. Just a heads up though, it can stretch to 30 days during peak seasons. And keep in mind, North Dakota doesn't offer expedited processing, so you really need to plan accordingly. Once that's approved, boom, your LLC is officially born. Okay, let's pivot to Section 3, Internal Rules and Taxes, Agreements and IINs. While North Dakota doesn't actually force you to submit an operating agreement to the state, the law strongly expects you to have one. Actually, let me rephrase. It's not just a document. It's basically the constitution for your business. It outlines ownership percentages, profit splits, and exactly what happens if a member decides they want to leave. It's kept internally, sure, but banks almost always require it to open a business account, and courts will absolutely look for it to prove your business is truly separate from you personally.
And here's the real kicker. This perfectly illustrates why writing your own rules matters so much. If you don't have an operating agreement, you're automatically subject to the state's default rules. For LLCs formed after August 2017, North Dakota defaults to splitting profits based on capital contribution. So, imagine you and a partner start a business. They put in $9,000 and you put in $1,000. Under default state law, they get 90% of the profits, even if you're the one doing all the daily work. An operating agreement lets you override that default and split profits however you guys choose.
Next on the checklist, you're going to need an EIN, or Employer Identification Number. Think of this as a social security number specifically for your business. You're going to need it to open a bank account, hire employees, or elect corporate tax status. The process here is super easy. You just go to the IRS website during their operating hours, fill out Form SS4 online, and yep, it is 100% free. You'll actually get your EIN immediately as soon as you hit submit.
Let's look ahead to Section 4, Ongoing Maintenance, Compliance and State Requirements. So you've got your LLC, but we have to look beyond the basics. Depending on what your business actually does, you might need specific local city or county permits. If you're selling physical goods, you've got to register with the North Dakota Office of State Tax Commissioner for sales and use tax. Planning on hiring, you'll need to set up employment tax withholding. But listen to this, here is a massive perk. North Dakota does not charge an annual franchise tax or minimum entity tax on LLCs. That is a huge win for your bottom line.
To keep you completely sane and organized, here is a quick compliance timeline. Day 1 is your formation and appointing your registered agent. By day 90, we highly recommend having that operating agreement finalized and signed. But the date you absolutely must circle in red on your calendar is November 15th. Every single year, your LLC has to file an annual report with the Secretary of State just to keep your business info current. That November 15th deadline? It's no joke. The annual report itself costs $50. If you miss that deadline, you're immediately slapped with a $50 late fee. If you ignore it for 6 months, the state will involuntarily terminate your LLC, completely stripping you of that liability protection we talked about. And to bring a terminated company back from the dead, you'll have to cough up a $135 reinstatement fee. The big takeaway here? Stay organized and set a loud reminder for November. All right, bringing it home with Section 5 resources and wrap-up, final steps and support. If you're looking to bootstrap and keep those startup costs low, I've got a few insider tips for you. First, just do the filing yourself directly on the First Stop portal. The state forms are pretty straightforward. Second, if you are hiring a registered agent, shop around. A lot of services offer the first year completely free when you sign up. Third, you can actually skip the $10 name reservation fee entirely. If you're ready to form the LLC right now, your $135 formation fee automatically claims your name. And finally, use online platforms like DocDraft to find solid operating agreement templates that are already tailored to North Dakota law. Well, we've covered the why, the how, the costs, the deadlines, the whole shebang. You now have the complete roadmap to build your safety net and officially launch your North Dakota business. Now, just a quick reminder before we wrap up, this explainer is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, tax, or financial advice. Every business situation is totally unique, so please consult with a qualified professional to ensure you're making the absolute best choices for your specific needs. But with this roadmap securely in your hands, what is the very first step you're going to take today to turn your entrepreneurial dream into a protected reality?